YouTube. So I'm going to build a Ryzen Threadripper build. I've taken everything out already and built it because we had issues with one of the boards when we started filming before. Yeah, so we're gonna we're opening 3 till it sort of clicks like that, and again 1, 3, 2, 1, just to open it, and it'll swing up like that. Okay, so it's the biggest socket literally I've ever seen, and so with that comes obviously great responsibility. That's it. Chance of things going wrong are quite high. So this little blue tabs, you just just pull them up, and this is the tray that the CPU will slide into like that. Okay, and I could literally see myself hitting the board then. Anyway, okay, so what you do is you slide it in, making sure that it stays within the black rails on the side of the CPU. So you see these little black rails, it needs to run in between the groove, and you need to check it has, and it goes right down to the bottom. Then you're ready to go. So gently lower it down, and you're going to push it down against, and it'll click both sides. So that's nice and insecure at the moment. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower down the retention bracket, and as it says here, to close we're going to start with 1. The good thing about the Ryzen tool to do this is it's got an anti-tightener on it, so it won't tighten too much. It will click after a while if you're starting to tighten too much.
Science.
Science. There you go. 2.
Gotta love engineers. Every problem will create 10 more.
Click. And 3. Actually, I could do this quicker than I need to. There you go. 3. Okay, cool. So that's the CPU in place, and it is ridiculously big. Okay, so the other thing is, next section we're going to do now is we're going to put CPU cooler in place. Recording, yeah? Yeah, okay, so the next step we're going to do is we're going to install the mounting brackets for our CPU cooler. So we got an Arctic Cooler 33 Threadripper edition. So this is about 40 quid on Amazon. It's going to be great ventilation within the case anyway, and I'm going to increase the fans. So I've tested it already, and it can deal with the requirements of this CPU anyway. I'm not running it overclocked, obviously, because it's a workstation. So the primary focus is to try and for reliability, even though, because it's my day-to-day computer, I wouldn't like to run it overclocked. But for me, it's more important that it's stable and it's always working. So the gain of 10% is not something I would see any day anyway. So I put 2 screws on the mounting clip that screws straight into the socket, and I'm going to put 2 at the back on the other side. And after this, I'll apply the thermal paste, which for applying thermal paste, you need to use you need to put a grain of it, but in the case of a big Threadripper CPU, you need to put a very long grain. So you will put a long grain of CPU paste along the middle, like that, and then as the cooler comes down, it will apply pressure and it'll push it out. Okay, cool. So what we're going to do for the next step is we're going to screw this into place. The thermal paste has been applied, and now what we're going to do is I've screwed the ends of the brackets in already, so it goes inwards on itself. So one that side, one the other side, and a single single screw in between. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply the screw, just screw it in directly into the bracket that's on the plate. I'm not going to fully tighten it, so I can get a bit of leeway when I'm going round it, so I can do the corner to corner approach. So I'll do one in the corner next. And break the motherboard while I'm at it. And the RAM slots, and the RAM slots again. Right, you may have noticed that I have the brackets for the fan this way round, because I want the air to go out. The wasted air goes straight out the back from the rear fan on the case. So the heat, the cold air goes in through the front, straight out the back, or rises out because of heat rising. So I'm going to tighten this a bit more as well now, just so I can start putting the other 2 screws in, which should be ready to go.
Where's the arrow? There's the arrows. There is.
Cameraman is quite interested in fan design.
I was looking for the airflow arrows.
Well, this one's fun.
You will explain again.
Will I? Okay, you should not over tighten it. I take my comment back. Just leave it slightly loose while you're doing this as well.
So are you going to copy your fellow YouTubers' approach with the seductive voice?
So boys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to overlap the computer, and I'm going to tighten slowly.
Okay, if you are offended there,
don't ever do that again.
I can see the comments already. Oh, I can't say words, can I? These sort of words. Yeah, all I'm going to do now is tighten it up. And that's it. Right, next stage is not to put the fan on, because we want to put the CPU memory on.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, cameraman confused now. I'm going to put the 4 memory sticks in the following slots: DDR4 A1, B1, and there's also C1 and D1 the other sides, because that's the quad channel on the motherboard manual. That is the layout they suggest for quad channel memory with 4 memory sticks. So I'm going to follow that layout, and I'm going to pull the tab back. So I'm going to place it in, line the memory up, push down from the right hand corner, then the left to lock it in place, and done. I'm going to repeat it 4 times. Click to lock. And then I'm going to do the other side for the matching side. So again, C and D. So they won't be next to each other. They'll be, obviously we'll refer to the manual because it might be different, but most of the time they're not next to each other. There'll be a gap away if you're doing 4 and not 8. So I'm going to push down from the right, and it will lock in place. And don't wiggle it like I've just done. That's not a good idea. I can see YouTube comments.
Don't do that at home, kids.
Yeah. And in place. Okay, so now we've got that in place, the memory's clear and out the way of the fan. We can put the fan on. So, and as cameraman Dwayne mentioned, we need to look for the airflow arrows. So it's going that direction.
Can't see it. There's no light.
Can you see now? An arrow pointing up. Oh, well done, mate. Arrow pointing upwards. So the air's going in from this direction. So we're going to put it in that way because we want it to blow out of the case. But we're also going to make sure that the CPU fan header is also clear and on the right side. So I'm going to put that there. And then what we're going to do is use the latches to lock the fan in place, and they go over the top just like that. So that goes into where the hole would, if you were screwing it in, would go. So, or not in this case. There we go, and it locks in place. The reason they not using screws is probably to do with vibration, and that's why there's rubber as well. Okay, so that's in place, nice and secure. We're going to come in at 45 degrees, and then we're going to lay it down gently. And as you can see, it's got a sort of spring action. So we're going to use the screw to push it down and or your finger to push it down, lock it into place, and the screw just to tighten it to stop it flipping up, just like that. So that boot drive's ready to go. At this point, we basically built everything we can outside the case. So from now on, we're going to be going back. We're going to push it back in the case, and we're going to start installing other stuff such as graphics card, power, and so on. I'm just going to line the screw holes up, and I'm not going to fully tighten it up. I'm just going to put it in loosely so I can try and get the holes right. Giggity. Not slip off, get caught offside. I'm sure I'm going to get banned. Oh wow! So I managed to put. There is like a hole. Oh, well, this one must have been damaged before, because no, that is it. So all I'm going to do is line the holes up with the 4 holes at the back. I'm going to use the standard screws that you do for 2.5" drives. Just these small sort of threaded screws. I'm going to not fully tighten again like I've done before, cross it from the back one. And throw it at people. I'm fully tightening them now. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is at the back of the computer, you've got a tightening hole, which is where it would, which is where it's going to latch onto and tighten up. So the two little grooves here go in at an angle, lock it to place, and then just tighten it with the thumb screw, and voila. So this one I've done earlier. I'm just going to put this one in, tighten it up. Are up for that. So these are little magnetic ones I got off of Amazon for up £5. It's a workstation, so it doesn't need to be very fancy, but it's quite important to have magnetic white lights to show off when people walk in.
Enter.
Ta-da! Alright. What I'm going to do now is push all the cables in. Push all the cables in somehow. And literally on the rail slide it on. And in. There we go, and tighten the thumb screws at the back. Cool. Okay. Now we're ready to install from above this motherboard. Okay, so this is the I/O shield. So this stops, this grounds the computer motherboard to the case, so it stops surges and static stuff. So I'm just going to push it in and cut my fingers. All part of the British talent.
Yeah. That's sweat and tears.
And then we're going to push it in from the corners, tuck it into place. Oh, fuck. For God's sake. Take two. I'm going to push it down first. I'm going to push it in. There we go. And we're gone. Cool. So with that, this will allow us to layer down the motherboard. So I'm going to pick it up from the cooler. I'm going to switch it round. I'm going to layer it down without trapping all the cables underneath it. So remember what I said about that, there we go, that's the little one in the middle to keep it in line. So what we can do now is we can start tightening, locking it into place. Right, last screw now. Oh, it does help when it's straight. So I'm going to push it in from the top and the first slot, click, lock in place. I'm going to use one screw in the centre. You can use two, but I'm going to use one screw in the centre and lock it in place because I'm clearly going to take this out so often. Yeah, so that's CCTV. There's a CCTV machine downstairs, and it's got a GTX 1070 in it. That's fine. I'm just okay. So the last bit, I'm going to press the 8-pin PCI Express power into it. So that's sorted and ready to go. I'll just push that down. Coming down from the top, push it into place, click, lock, and I'm going to screw it in place.
Missed all of that.
There you go. Let's see if it works. Right, here's the big truth. Alright, that looks a bit promising. And the numbers are counting down. Oh, come on, is the display gonna come on? Oh, it feels nice and cool as well. Come on, mate. Come on, give me that colour. Give me that colour, girl. It's still counting down, the number's still going, 27.
The lights are nice, it's not picking up on the camera.
It's picking up.
Win.
There we go, boys.
And girls.
And girls, and girl. It's booting Windows. Okay, there we go, we're done. So I'm going to put the side of the case on so you guys can have the feeling that I'm going to have when I use the computer. So the last part is putting the glass on and peeling the plastic off.
Hey! Peel the plastic off!
A bit of fun, you get me? Right. Up north we could just be killing cats, but we do this. So literally all I'm going to do is use the thumb screws, corner to corner. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and push the computer off the wall, the table as well, because I'm clearly doing that slowly. And it will smash if you just prove it worked.
Is it really glass, Josh? It's really glass.
Do you want me to kick it? Okay. What you can do after this is like a tour of it with it running, just how cool it looks when it's finished.
Not getting the lights.
Okay, last screw.
It's showing up. Anyways.
It should. Pretty good. Got to build the tension there. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to peel it off.
Drum roll, please.
Oh, that feels good. Oh.
I want a bit of that.
You want a bit of that? Peel it, boy.
Okay, you can get it by now.
Oh.
Satisfying.
I'm going to turn it on again. With the light and the glass.
Nice.